how to play the cards you were dealt. We all been dealt this hand. You know, we were born Moors. You know, we can't change it. Some people do. Some people try to get their skin lightened. Some people attempt to get their nose done, to get their body reshaped. Because a lot of us are insecure. We're not happy with the way Allah made us. Because we want to try to fit the European perspective of what beautiful is. And when we do that, we tarnish God's image. We tarnish the image we were made in. Everything we do, everything that had happened in our lives has happened for a reason. So our response to how these things happen is what cultivates us to either learn the lesson and make it a learned lesson, or if we do not learn it, then it will occur again for us to eventually defeat it. So let us reflect. We may not always understand why something happened in our lives. Why is my family like this? Why is this happening? But also, let us understand that these things happen for a reason. They happen to bring us clarity in life. These things happen so that we could turn to God and seek His guidance. We can't continue to try to seek our own understanding and try to fill in a void on, oh, this happened because of this, so now I'm mad at you. Then we want to conjure up our own thoughts of revenge on how we're going to pay somebody back. Or when something happened and we may not understand clearly, we become fearful and we put ourselves in a situation to now commit sin, whether it's a robbery, because we felt we need money. My family was suffering at this time. And not that these are not legit causes to get up and do, but we have to be mindful of the things that we get up to do. We cannot do the things that we will later regret. We cannot do the things that are sinful in God's eyes because we are attempting to live and survive in the devil's world. This is how he pulls us away from our Creator, by putting us in conditions where we would turn away from God and seek our own means on how we're going to save ourselves. And when we do that, this is when we revert to drug dealing, robbery, burglary, murder, lewdness, and theft. Because we seek to do things our way. We need to give God a try. And in giving God a try, He tells us everything we're going through is a fulfillment of Scripture. Everything we're going through, it had to happen. Because it's written in the Scripture on what will be the outcome. And if we truly believe in God, then we have to understand that it is us in the Scripture. It's not referring to nobody else. It's speaking specifically on us, God's chosen people, that will be enslaved for 400 years. So if we are to be enslaved for 400 years, then how can we think we are to come out of that slavery with perfect families when we don't even know God? How we think we can come out of slavery for 400 years and we could be righteous? Who taught us to be righteous? The same devils that enslaved us? These are the things we have to reflect on. We are the fulfillment of Scripture. And this wicked system know that. They know we are God's chosen people. That's why they continue to plague us. This is why they continue to deceive us and make us think that we could be a part of them. Then when we get close to attempting to be part of them, they reject us, they kill us, they beat us and spit on us. And all we do many of the time is march and pray and hope for equal treatment. But if we are to get equal treatment, let us do what Allah has intended for us to do. He intended for us to separate, to come into our own. Let's stop playing this black and white reaction game of trying to fit in their system, trying to make them change their system. when we could just build our own? We have our own laws, God's laws that we should go by. Surely, if this country separates church from state, then they tell you God's laws is not their priority. So if we say we are of God, then ask ourselves, what is your priority? Is this God's laws, or is your priority upholding the United States laws, upholding theirs? Our priority should be to uphold God's laws. And God instructs us to do something. If we do not do it, it comes with consequences. If we do it, then therefore we put ourselves in a better position. So let us put our faith in God. Let us do the work of God. The cards that we've been dealt this hand for a reason. Only if we knew that this is a winning hand. This is not a losing hand. We are not to fold them. We are not to go off and run to another location. We are to play the hand that we are dealt. Who are you? What are you? Whose are you? These are all the cards that are in our hands that we have to become familiar with so we can know how to play our hand, how to play the cards you were dealt.